meet you. I'm Mark.
What's your name? What's
Mark.
your last name?
Mayor.
Oh, nice. An easy one.
Mike.
How are you? Jasmina.
Jasmina.
Yes.
What's your name?
My name's Steve Moy. My last name.
Moy.
Moy, M-O-Y.
Rhymes with my first name, Noy.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Married at First Sight edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing?
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm doing okay.
Whoa. Why?
If you're gonna ask.
Wait. Why? Why so pessimistic?
I don't think we needed a part two.
So much pessimism coming from
I
you.
don't think we needed a part two of this reunion.
I think we needed two couples to be part of the part two.
Yeah? Who?
Alyssa and Chris.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
Bob,
true.
the Shock, and Lindsay. It was, even though they got sad.
Yeah, a little
And
sad.
the experts.
I didn't need the experts. Don't you think we could have just rolled the 3 or 4 highlights of part 2 into part 1 and called it a day? They gave us a 3-hour kickoff special. Just give us a 3-hour reunion and let's call it a day. Let's move on.
True, but what would we podcast about?
Oh, MAFS would give us enough to podcast about. They're giving us Where Are They Now, which looks juicy.
I am so excited
looks
for
juicy.
that because they're going to pair up the worst person on the entire show ever
Alyssa.
Alyssa.
Spoiler alert.
with Ryan, the boring cowboy from Texas.
Which
Or
seems
is
like
he is he a cowboy?
He's a wannabe
He
cowboy.
likes the
Is he
like
from
the
Texas?
lifestyle. Yeah, I was in Texas.
And
I
he's
for-
more of a cowboy than she'll find in Boston.
I forgot what part of Texas. Was it Austin? It was the previous season.
Houston?
No, it wasn't Houston.
That was the previous season. Was Houston?
Houston?
Yeah.
Really?
Wasn't the guy from NASA like Houston? We have a problem.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Haven't you ever
Houston.
seen Apollo 13?
Of course I did.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah, they're parent. Yeah, it's not Where Are They Now. It's like who are they banging now?
We watched it during the pandemic.
Apollo 13. Mm-hmm. We watched a good amount of
Television.
television and movies. Yeah. Hey, this podcast started in the pandemic.
Yes, this is our pandemic baby.
It's the pandemic pod. Yeah. So I'm excited for Where Are They Now?
Yes.
And then I think there's something after Where Are They Now?
What?
Yeah.
They cannot stop producing.
They cannot stop.
They cannot.
They cannot. And then the new season, San Diego is going to start in
Woohoo, West
July.
Coast.
In July. West Coast, best coast. Not really. We're East
West
Coasters.
Coast. San Diego is one of my favorite cities
San
in the U.S.
Diego, a whale's vagina.
It's very, really.
No, it's Anchorman.
Oh. It's very peaceful.
I've never been.
I love it.
I don't love California. Hot take right here. I don't love
Well,
California. I've
you
only
don't love
been
LA. I
I've
don't
been
love
to
LA either.
and then the surrounding areas, which I do like Santa Monica.
I
Venice is
love
cool.
like Huntington Beach, Santa Monica, absolutely
Mm-hmm.
San Diego. I've been to San Fran too, but it's been a while.
laid over in San Francisco, never explored.
Yeah, but San Diego is gorgeous.
Anyways, we'll talk about California next season.
And it has a lot of seals.
Teresa, we'll talk about California next season. Let's talk about
Okay.
Boston, okay? Because we're not going to be able to talk about Boston for too much longer. Before we do, a couple housekeeping items here. Follow us on social media. It's really important to follow us on social media now that this season is coming to an end because we'll keep you posted on what's coming next. If we're going to be covering the little in-between specials or what's happening there, what's happening now, where are we now, where are we going, where have we been, all that stuff. Well, you'll find out first on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. So make sure you're following us there. Also, make sure you're following the podcast. Wherever you're listening right now, subscribe to the podcast so whatever we drop, it comes right to your device. It's so easy to do. You look down, you smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as Dr. Viviana's dress. I'm not a big on sparkly things, but that one was nice.
I could see myself in that dress, if you know what I mean.
Don't tell me that. Oh,
I mean, I could see my reflection in that dress. I could see myself in that dress.
I
Teresa.
thought that you are gonna explore a different side of you.
No, my sister already tried that on me. Yeah, that was like my toast to my sister was that she dressed me up in women's clothes, which is also a lyric to a song. Dress me up in women's clothes. It's man of generals. Tie my eyes and call me pretty.
Is it
Laid.
is it a country song?
I don't know. Ask Alyssa. Anyway, I know it from Matt Nathanson, but I think it's originally from James. I don't know. Anyway, yes, that dress, hot. Viviana looking hot. Viviana coming with the heat. Viviana brought the fire.
Because that's it for Viviana.
Woo! Yes.
No
Viviana
more Dr. Viviana, at least not for the next season.
Dr. Viviana is exiting stage right, and they're bringing in 2 new experts next season.
Sexperts.
There's one sexpert. And the other is, okay, I wrote it down. Devon Franklin, a Hollywood producer and best-selling author, also a relationship advisor. He's coming on board, Devon. And also Dr. Pia Holek, a psychotherapist who specializes in sex and couples therapy.
They better do something. They better help them because this season, DP and PC and Dr. Viviana were just watching it with popcorn and their feet on the table, just laughing behind the scenes, not doing anything.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I haven't seen a male sexpert. It's always a woman. It would be it could come across as aggressive maybe if there was like a male. Like imagine Elijah as a sexpert. It'd be a little concerning.
Well, look at PC. He's trying to be a
he is
sexpert.
he himself, I think, is an expert in bed, but I don't think he's trying
He's
to.
a pastor. Take it easy.
Oh, come on. You know how they get down. But yeah, all the women or all these sexperts on MAFS have been women so far, I believe.
True.
So, and here comes another. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe there are more women who are in this occupation
in the field. Yeah.
I was trying to find the word.
I could tell. I wasn't going to help you out because I thought you were going to pull it out, but no, occupancy is not it.
Occupation.
They're in the occupation.
I was close.
Oh, yeah. Not far. Okay, so you're following the pod, you're following the Instagram. One last thing, if you haven't left a review, please do. A little end of season gift for us if you haven't left a review.
Absolutely.
We'd love it if you could rate on Spotify, rate and review on Apple Podcasts. It makes Teresa's day. It makes my day. Helps the podcast. That's all we could ask for, really.
Yes.
So please, if you haven't left one, it means a lot and it helps us out. All right. That's the housekeeping. I feel like we breezed through that.
Yeah.
That was pretty easy.
Well,
All right.
I think we've been doing it for a while, so.
Kind of got it down now. Kind of
Yeah.
figured our way out.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
All right. So let's get into this episode then. It's reunion part 2 because I guess we needed a second part. So we got it.
Let's start with the ladies.
Where my ladies at? Ladies leave your man at home.
That's the song I was trying to sing.
When?
No, now.
Isn't it Destiny's Child?
Yes.
Ladies leave your man at home.
Yes.
It's 8 p.m. on a Wednesday and Kevin's about to start.
Wait, no, that's a different song.
Oh.
It's like a rap song, like ladies.
Oh. The reference you're not making, but that it's reminding me of is Justin Timberlake's Senorita,
That's not it.
which I love.
I do too,
It
but
feels like something's heating up.
Well-
We got to stop. We've sang 19 times in this
no,
podcast already.
try
We're
to
9
figure out
minutes
my
in.
rap song.
Okay, go.
Ladies.
That was my pickup line in college.
It goes like,
What? Into the mic, Teresa. Redeem yourself. Redeem yourself after occupancy.
I can rap.
Do
I
it.
can rap.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Barnum and Bailey. I don't know.
It's in my head. I just cannot.
In my head.
Well, it's a different song.
Zombie.
That's a different
Okay,
song.
I'm just going with you. Say it one more time.
Okay. Ladies. Stop it. You know that song?
I have no idea. The more you say it, the less I know what you're referring to. Can you give me something else besides ladies? What else? Everyone is fast forwarding 15 seconds right now until we solve it.
That's the only part of the song I know.
Okay, it'll come to you. I feel like
It's
it'll
in
come
my
to you.
head. The whole
Okay.
melody is in my head.
Okay.
I just can't rap.
Hum the melody.
I
then.
really can't.
Hum the
I
melody.
tried.
One more time. I try to say goodbye.
Okay, one more time.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Stop laughing. How are you expecting to figure it out if you're just laughing?
I'm giving up.
All right, thank God.
I'm giving but I'm bummed.
Okay.
I'm bummed
It'll
about
come
this.
to you. I think it'll come to you. I promise. Well, I don't promise, but I hope. So, yes, Kevin starts in with the women. So, as not to get back into that
They're
vicious
all dressed
cycle.
as a broken rainbow.
Yeah.
They don't have all the colors,
taste
but
the
they have some of
rainbow.
it. Yeah.
It looked good. It was a nice spectrum
Yeah.
of color.
And apparently the girls are super friendly, talk all the time, minus Lindsay.
Yeah. Do you think Lindsay is not on that group chat?
Well, from what we learned, and we'll dive deeper, but I think Jasmina was friends with Lindsay until the previous episode when she was talking shit about Alyssa. Jasmina got mad and unfollowed her on social media. So I almost feel like if Lindsay's out of the club, it's very recent.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I couldn't tell because Kevin is clearly tipped off that there is some social media animosity going on because he asks, you guys talk every day, you have a group chat, any social media blocking? And we learn Alyssa blocked Lindsay the night of the bachelorette
Which
party.
I don't understand, and it says a lot about Alyssa being an asshole.
You say it says a lot about her being an asshole. I say it says a lot about her being quick to judge, which is exactly what she did with Chris.
That's very
She was
true.
so quick to judge him. And now she was quick to judge Lindsay. You guys are out having drinks. And I'll give it to Alyssa. She was right on this one. Okay. She just happened to go for it and ended up being right. I would have blocked Lindsay eventually too.
Eventually.
So she just cut to the chase and got there quicker. But Alyssa is so quick to judge that she just hears one little joke that Lindsay makes and goes, blocked. Right? Doesn't give her a chance, doesn't get to see the full picture of who Lindsay is as a person, makes up her mind right there and then.
But even with all the shit that Lindsay did and said, Alyssa is still the worst.
Yeah.
Lindsay is very close.
Very
second.
close. Can they be tied?
No,
Okay.
because I hate Alyssa so much. That
Okay.
I feel like Lindsay has her good moments, and that's why she cannot be tied with Alyssa.
Here's the thing. I guess that
Alyssa has zero good moments. There's no good moment about her. Even if she's trying to be nice, that she's still lying. She's like, oh my gosh, Chris and I, we played tennis yesterday. It was so much fun.
That's true.
Meanwhile, she's like talking shit about Chris. Like, he's the worst. Like talking to the producers. Like, no.
Here's what makes me scratch my head. So we're not fond of Lindsay, we can say.
Yeah.
And our feelings are backed up by the fact that Alyssa doesn't like her. Jasmina unfollowed her. They go around the room and everyone's like, Lindsay's a lot, right? So it wasn't just the editing.
No.
Right? They were with her in real life and have these feelings too. Alyssa seems to be friends with the other girls. Jasmina is defending Alyssa. So you or I sit here and go, is Alyssa as bad in real life as she comes across? Because she comes across terrible.
I think
on
she's
television.
bad. I think they're friends with her because they have to. Because if you
don't
listen,
have to be.
no. But if you listen, they say, Katina says, oh, I talk to Jasmina all the time and now I talk with Noy.
Yeah.
No one says I talk with Alyssa. She's just there being maybe part of the group chat. And then Jasmina's like, yeah, we all talk with I talk with Katina and with Noy. Used to talk to Lindsay. No one said that, oh, I talk to Alyssa all the time.
I guess.
I
but
think Alyssa's there and she didn't do anything to them. So you
Right.
can't really.
they still have her back, though. Jasmina's still got in a fight
Well-
with Lindsay over having Alyssa's
Well,
back.
this is something I understand because if someone talks shit about other people behind their backs, I don't like it either.
No.
Or I would be like, well,
But if you
have
didn't
this-
like that person,
Well, I would still not love the fact that we're talking behind someone's back when they're not there to either defend themselves or make it crazier.
okay, at first I was like, oh, so high and mighty.
But again, yes, I don't think Jasmina has beef with Alyssa. But I don't think
No.
they're besties.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like if I'm not bestie with someone, but I don't hate that person, that would bother me, obviously.
Yeah. All right. Well, then Kevin asks if anyone was surprised about the decision day results. And Katina says she was surprised about Mark and or wasn't surprised about Mark and Lindsay, wasn't surprised about Michael and Jasmina.
Was not?
Was not. Katina was, and she figured they would both separate. That's because
I wasn't either.
I wasn't surprised about Mark and Lindsay. Michael and Jasmina, come on, we were a little surprised.
You know what's funny? I was actually more surprised about Mark and Lindsay because I thought that once the cameras go away, they will figure it out somehow.
But they're talking about decision day. Right? They're talking about where everyone said yes.
Okay.
And Katina thought Mark and Lindsay would say yes. Michael and Jasmina would say yes. I feel like that's interesting because Jasmina and Katina are clearly friends. They talk.
Yes.
And so Jasmina wasn't going behind Michael's back and saying, this is not working out, blah, blah, blah. Whatever she was telling Katina made Katina think, yeah, she's going to say yes on decision day. So I still think there is not a chance. I think that ship has sailed, but I think there are still feelings there, or there were feelings there. They said yes on decision day. For some reason, it didn't work out because they didn't live together, Teresa.
No.
Oh, we'll get to that because I have more thoughts. But clearly, Jasmina, whatever she was telling Katina, was like, yeah, I'm going to say yes on decision day. It's going to work. And
She wanted to give it another chance, and there was definitely something.
Yeah.
But I still don't think that a couple in their position who don't have any love feelings for each other, or they don't communicate well, they just want to see if it can work, should move in together.
I disagree, but we've talked about it at length. Kevin then turns to Katina and Elijah, and Kevin's like, talk about a couple that makes you smile. Huh? How is everyone drinking the Kool-Aid? I really don't understand how everyone is like, yeah, Elijah really made a 180. They're the perfect couple now.
That's why.
But he didn't. You really believe he did? I don't. I think Elijah's putting on a face for the cameras. We'll see what happens. Where are they now?
Oh, I don't buy it either. But I think there is a part of me that believes that him watching all the shit he said on TV made him realize that he crossed some lines.
Okay.
I still think it's him. I still think it's his personality, and it's probably going to come up again in their relationship. But I believe that he probably saw himself and be like, shit, I crossed a lot of lines.
I'm not saying he can't get to where he is at now. I'm just saying you can't get there in a matter of weeks. He was literally...
This is 5 months.
I know, but this is 5 months now. They're talking about, oh, yeah, everything's been great. They said yes on decision day. He's made changes. It's not like today as we sit here on Reunion Part 2, he's just started to make a change. He's been apparently changed for the last several months.
Yeah.
And I don't get how you go from being the most hated man in America because those actions are deserving of the title most hated man in America to now like, oh my God, this is the couple that makes you smile. No, he's putting on an act. He could eventually, hopefully, maybe if he acts like this long enough and in real life and not just in front of the cameras, can start to embody that and truly be that person. But I think this is an act for the cameras.
I think it's an act, including the fact that he proposed and the fact that they said, I love you. Absolutely an act.
Yeah, things were so good, but you didn't say you loved each other until you brought out the big ring on Reunion Part 1? Come on.
But all the guys are basically validating him that he does regret all that shit, that he did change. But they're calling him out. They're saying, yeah, dude, like, what did you think? And so I almost feel like if he was really that bad, they wouldn't have this bromance.
I don't know, because there's that classic, do you regret your actions or do you regret getting caught? Right? Does he regret getting caught on camera, or does he regret actually doing it and making Katina feel?
No, I think it was him. I think that's what he felt at the moment. He felt like, this is what I want and there is no left or right. Like, this is my way only, right? And being an asshole. But I would like to believe that he regrets some of his actions.
I hope so too. Of course, 'cause
But
they were
yeah,
disgusting.
obviously you don't just
They were
change.
inexcusable.
Yeah, they were horrible. Like
Horrible.
horrible. The way he talked to her. If you talk to me like this for a minute, I would be out of here.
Of course.
And so,
And he was
I
convicted.
don't know.
He was convicted in those beliefs. That's why I think you don't change this quickly. It's not like he was thinking, I was kind of hoping I would have a wife who would cook for me every night and clean for me every night and not pursue her dreams so that we could pursue my dreams and travel. It wasn't just this, maybe. He was so convicted in those beliefs that I don't know how you go from being so convicted to just being like, yep, that's fine. Totally, I'm over it. I'm going to change. I'm a new person. I don't buy it. Everyone else buys it. Kevin goes, no one has grown like Elijah has grown. I don't buy it. I hope I'm wrong.
I don't buy it fully, but again, I think he understands that some of it or most of it was wrong, what he did. Let's just hope that he does for
Let's hope.
Tina's sake.
That's all we can do is hope.
But yeah, I think a lot of people still hate him.
I don't know. I think a lot of people, you look on social media, you look at the experts, Kevin, a lot of people are buying into it and going, that's the man I knew he could be. There he is. I'm telling you. You're laughing.
I have social media too.
People are like, yes, I always knew it. See, he's a good man deep down at the heart.
Well, only time will tell. Let's see how they're doing in a couple of months.
Yeah. So then Kevin turns to Noy and Steve and asks if people were surprised when they saw there was friction in that couple. And everyone was surprised that Noy and Steve had some issues. I guess they were kind of that poster couple.
They had 3 issues. Issue number 1, the biggest one, the job. Issue number 2, the social media. Issue number 3, the living situation. That's it. Those are the issues.
Those are 3 big issues. What they did was hide them in front of people.
I get it. Some people don't we don't discuss our private stuff with anyone.
No, but that's why the group thought, oh, they're perfect. They have no issues because they kept it to themselves, right? And that's a good lesson for everyone is don't just look at Instagram or what someone tells you at a dinner party and go, oh man, they're so lucky. Their life's so perfect. I wish I had their life. No, they're only showing you the good parts. And that's what Noy and Steve were trying to do was just show the good parts. Meanwhile, they were dealing with some real shit back home.
Noy was posting about it on social media.
That's very true.
So it wasn't
That's actually very true.
Pink glasses.
No, the social media was accurate. In that case. Yeah. So then Kevin does ask about the lack of employment. And Katina says, well, I figured he had money. So I didn't see an issue.
He must have had some money. I didn't like what Lindsay said because Lindsay goes like, yeah, like he needed a job ASAP, which is kind of true. But then she said, she grew up in a refugee camp. She wants a 6-figure man. And I feel like, yeah.
I didn't hear that.
And I feel like that was so aggressive.
What I didn't like about what Lindsay said is going, yeah, Steve needs a job. He wants to prove that he's got drive. And to me, that's hypocritical because when Mark lost his job and he said, I'm going to go find a job. I need to work. I want to do something in the fitness industry. Lindsay was like, no, work on getting to know me. And so for you, it's totally different. For Noy and Steve, oh yeah, you think Steve should get a job and show he's got drive. But for Mark, no, it's like me. This is what I want. Forget Mark's desires. I thought it was hypocritical.
Great point.
Yeah, I thought, of course, Lindsay's such a hypocrite. It's all about her.
Yeah.
And she changes with the wind and says whatever it is in the moment.
I think she has some deeper issues that, again, we don't know about, or we don't know about for sure, but she's showing signs of some very, very deep issues.
Yeah. Then speaking of Lindsay, Kevin turns to Mark and Lindsay, and he brings up how she tends to rub people the wrong way.
She has beef with literally everyone.
Cue the maniac montage. They play Lindsay's greatest hits, and it's all absolutely bonkers. It scares me every time. It scares me. I don't know how we watch this before bed because
her laugh
gives me nightmares.
It's too much.
It's terrifying.
Too much. And she does not stop. She's like,
It's crazy. It is crazy. A good prank, although I would feel bad to do this, would be to make her laugh. Mark's alarm.
oh my gosh,
Or
poor
ringtone,
Mark. No,
yeah.
poor Mark.
Yeah.
He
But
does not deserve it.
no, he doesn't. So then Lindsay goes, yeah, I've put my foot in my mouth before, but I always learn. And I love feedback.
Did you? Alyssa and Katina were like, their face. You guys cannot see my
Yeah.
face.
You keep
obviously,
forgetting
but-
this is an audio medium.
But their faces were like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
That you love feedback?
Yeah. It's BS. Of course. She's saying it because it makes herself look better in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
She loves that.
I've made mistakes, but I love to learn and grow. Oh, you stop it, Lindsay.
She does. Not many people actually like feedback. And people, like, I don't mind it, but you have to. I like feedback. I do. But you need to
Constructive.
you need to. Constructive criticism, absolutely. But you need to know how to accept it and learn from it. A lot of people don't have that.
Well,
people who
feedback is-
just say it, like Lindsay, that no, you give her feedback and she's gonna unleash on you.
Feedback is great if you can actually use it to improve something.
Yes.
A lot of times, I think you're conflating feedback with criticism. Criticism isn't going to help anyone. But if it's feedback, if it's positive feedback or constructive feedback, then sure, take it, embrace it, and you'll be better for it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Lindsay thinks she's perfect as is. So, of course, why would she want feedback? She just knows, oh, that's something I need to say. Is that
Yes.
of course I could be better. I could learn. She doesn't truly buy that. And then she goes, let's cut to the chase. Alyssa, let's cut to the chase. Alyssa, you blocked me, but you were sending messages privately to my husband.
To Mark the Shark.
To Mark the Shark, swimming into his DMs.
And then she said that Alyssa talks shit about Lindsay to everyone, which I believe. I believe that Alyssa did say shit, and I feel like at this time, Katina and Jasmina kind of had Alyssa's back because
They so
please
did.
don't tell me Alyssa talks shit about Chris after she's known him for like 2
And the
days.
experts.
Yes.
And she talks
So,
shit about
please.
everyone. I mean, it may not have been to the extreme of what Lindsay was saying about Alyssa, but I do believe Alyssa had Lindsay's name in her mouth. I have
And
to
also,
imagine.
I don't buy that Mark the Shark just reached out to Alyssa to check on her because he's a good friends with Chris, and Chris was not okay with Alyssa and how she treated him. Why would Mark the Shark reach out to Alyssa just to check on her?
That's interesting because that's a great point. We saw Mark and Chris have a moment earlier in the
Yeah.
season. They were plant shopping or whatever. And yeah, bros before hoes, right? But Mark is such a caregiver that he might just run to the scene of the accident and not think about what's going on and just go, Alyssa, she's in a time of trouble right now. Let me just reach out and see if she's okay. That's just who Mark is. And he's always there to help everyone, his mom, his grandma, whomever.
True.
Who wants to be a firefighter, right? He's there to help. And so I could buy it because everyone else vouches and goes, yeah, he was just reaching out to check on her. It wasn't any inappropriate. Katina said, I saw the messages. It wasn't inappropriate.
Okay.
But again, you make a good
Yeah.
point. If he's talking to Chris, where is your alliance? Where does your alliance lie?
Exactly. And
it should be with,
not be with Alyssa.
you wouldn't think. But again, 3 sides to every story. We don't.
Absolutely, but Alyssa's the worst. There is just one side.
I know you hate Alyssa. I
can't
dislike her
stand
strongly
her.
too, but I also
I
dislike
just
Lindsay.
cannot stand her.
I dislike Lindsay too, so I can't take sides in this argument. And there's a little more drama between them because Kevin brings up that Jasmina and Lindsay got into it a little bit at the airport after taping the after show. And this was when
The after party.
the after party. Yeah, this was after some cocktails probably.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
we know
for
they,
sure.
We know they drink on that show. And Jasmina said, yeah, Lindsay was bashing Alyssa.
Classic.
And I told her, don't talk about her behind her back. And Lindsay was like, well, I'm going to do what I want. You can stop telling me what to do. Or you can get out of the car and walked to the airport, I guess.
Well, and poor Noi was being put in the middle. But she kind of handled it well because Lindsay was saying that Jasmina yelled at her. Noi says, well, they were arguing, but Jasmina did not yell.
Yeah.
But Lindsay did talk
She was
shit.
just establishing a boundary.
'Cause I think she's still friends with Lindsay.
Noah, you think is...
Or friendly, maybe.
I don't think anyone's friendly with Lindsay.
That's true.
I really don't.
I hope not, because she is crazy. I don't understand how people are friends with Alyssa, but okay.
That's what I'm saying is, again, 3 sides to every story. We are getting confirmation that Lindsay is batshit because we saw it with our own eyes, and now these 4 women are confirming, and they're not being friends with her. Alyssa, we saw she's batshit and rude and toxic, but for some reason she has friends.
She's there.
She's inserting herself. You're
Yes,
right.
I don't think they're head over heels want to hang out with her. I think she's just there.
Yeah, that could be true. So then the lion tattoo story comes up, and I don't know what's going on here.
So much drama. I literally wrote down, so much drama I'm not following.
Yeah, so let's try to make a little sense of it. Lindsay is telling people that Alyssa changed the story that her psychic told her. Her psychic apparently told her your soulmate has a lion tattoo, but
Yes.
then this is what Alyssa says. My psychic told me that my soulmate has a lion tattoo. Mm-hmm. Or an eagle tattoo.
No,
An
a
eagle
lion tattoo.
No, psychic said eagle.
Oh.
But she changed. See, it's so confusing.
I don't know.
The psychic told her that it was a eagle tattoo, but for some reason, Lindsay wants to pretend that the psychic told her it was a lion tattoo. Either way,
No, that's not true either.
nobody knows.
Steve,
Has a lion tattoo.
yes.
Right.
A lion or an eagle?
He has a lion.
So Steve has a lion tattoo. So Alyssa was telling everyone that the psychic said her man has an eagle tattoo.
Yes, right.
So it doesn't seem like, oh my gosh, she should have been paired
No, or
up
because that's
with
what the psychic told.
Steve.
Or because that's what the psychic told
Yes.
her. Lindsay's going around saying, no, she changed it to eagle because Steve has a lion tattoo.
Yes, and then Noi got mad, but not
Right.
at Alyssa or Lindsay. She just got mad because she just married Steve and she's been hearing all this.
Right, and Lindsay's trying to stir the pot like, oh no, Alyssa should really be with Steve because her psychic really told her it was a lion tattoo and not an eagle tattoo. Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. I don't know. I don't care. It's ridiculous. It doesn't matter, right?
What's ridiculous is a lion tattoo.
It's you're not lying. You're not lying.
No,
It's a ridiculous tattoo.
I would rather put the bald eagle that's not bald.
Right. Just a white head. Yeah. I mean,
That
who
would
are
be
you-
very
who are you
American
to
of
talk?
me.
Who are you to talk about tattoos?
True.
All right.
Let's not even go there.
Exactly. So then Kevin asked the ladies, all right, what kind of man should Lindsay be with? And people are like patient, adventurous, someone who has money,
Rich,
someone who could make her orgasm,
stable.
strong. Yeah. A lot of characteristics.
But
And-
absolutely, she needs someone who's gonna put her in her place in a smart way. Like who will put up with her shit in a way that would be like, stop, you're crossing all the lines, stop being like this. I love you, but this is enough. You cannot be this mean. You cannot be this rude. And she has to be someone who she respects so much that she'll take it and adjust.
It definitely has to be someone she respects.
Someone with a strong personality.
That's where I question it because she's such a control freak. I don't know that she could give that control up to somebody. So she might just want a submissive who is happy to take it. Who, yeah, whatever you say, whatever you want to eat, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, I'll do it. And I won't make a stink about it. She might be happier with that.
Well, whatever it is, she may or may not find that person one day. And don't you forget that didn't her ex cancel the wedding like a week prior?
Oh, yeah.
Well, now I can kind of see why.
Totally. I would love to go back and watch the first episode because you kind of take everything in, but you have no context
That's so true.
of like, oh, what's this person saying? Or, oh, this person used to be a crazy partier or multiple personalities or blah, blah. now we know who these people are, more or less. It'd be so interesting to see how they frame themselves up that first episode.
Lindsay, batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy from the start.
From the start. The
Drunk
second
AF.
she walked drunk AF down the aisle,
Yeah.
we knew.
We knew who she was.
We knew.
We knew. Then they asked, what kind of person should Jasmina be with? And Lindsay says he should be family focused, a patient man with a kind heart. And Noy's like, yeah, an intellectual. And Alyssa says someone caring. And everyone's like, this is Mike. We're talking. This is Michael that we're talking about. This is who we think you should be with. And this is who you were with. But for some reason, you guys couldn't make it work.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. And what kind of man does Alyssa need? You know, those country cowboy types, Katina says. Straw in the mouth.
Yeah. She needs a cowboy.
She needs a cowboy. And then she may have found one.
We'll see on
Stay
the
tuned.
next app.
Stay tuned. All right. Then Kevin brings the boys in.
The boys are in the house.
And Kevin sees Mark and goes, you're like a different person without Lindsay. You look good, right? And Mark agrees. He feels the positivity now.
Like the guys have an actual bromance. The girls have some beef between each other. And again, I don't think Alyssa's friends that close to these girls as Noi, Katina, and Jasmina are.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, the guys are the guys.
Yeah, they got a good group. And Elijah says, Lindsay is always quick to point the finger, doesn't look at herself.
So this is interesting because I thought they were like besties.
I was going to make that point. Lindsay, yeah. In the girls segment, Lindsay's like, oh, yeah, Elijah, we're best friends.
Hard on his sleeve.
Have each other back. Yeah, we really get each other. And then the first thing Elijah says is like, yeah, she always points the finger and doesn't look at herself. So again, it's Lindsay lives in her own world. And in her own world, she's best friends with Elijah. And in the real world, they're probably friendly
I think
now.
they're friends.
Yeah, they're
but
friendly
not
now.
besties.
I don't think they're besties. And then we learn something that hasn't been corroborated.
No.
But I believe it.
Before you say it, did also Kevin say that Lindsay was talking shit about his mom and grandma?
Ooh.
Or did I misunderstand?
I would not be surprised, but I don't think I wrote that down.
Yeah, but what you were going to say, I'm sure, is that apparently during one of their many fights,
What was the last fight?
Lindsay spit on him.
On his shirt. Yes. That would be a better shirt design than that Mark the Shark.
Ew.
Just a little loogie. It'd be
Ew.
more original.
Who would wear
It'd be
that?
more original.
Ew.
Come on.
Ew.
But yeah, apparently she spit on his shirt, and that's crossing all sorts of lines.
He must
assault.
be very,
That's literally assault.
He must be very patient.
Well, who knows how he reacted?
Yeah, I think he's patient. I don't think he would slap her or anything like that.
Oh, I would hope not.
No.
But he could have spit back.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Sharks don't spit.
What do they do?
They blow bubbles.
We could have blown bubbles back. That's how kind and caring he is. She would spit on his shirt. He would go to the corner, open up like the bubbles, and just blow.
I
blow some
love
bubbles.
Mark. He deserves
No, you
some
take it
love.
easy over there. Yeah. Well, apparently it was the worst bullying he's ever dealt with. He said he's frightened by Lindsay, which we all are a little bit. But he had the support of his guys, so that helped him through the process.
And then we see all the throwback
Oh,
of
boy.
him and Lindsay having good and bad times, and then a cat died once again. They love showing that.
Goodbye. Goodbye,
Goodbye,
my
my
friend.
lover.
No, it's goodbye, my friend.
Goodbye. Goodbye, my friend.
Yeah, Mark did go through some tough shit this season.
Yeah,
the bed bugs, his loss of his job, the loss of JC the cat. It was a lot.
Yeah.
We got to relive it all.
Again, they love showing it over and over. It's like on 90 Day, they love showing the Daniel's vagina smell.
Oh, stop it.
Smells over and over.
Stop
They always pick that.
They always show the pussy
moment.
stuff.
Uh-huh.
Smell like a dead cat, Danielle. Mark got super emotional watching it, of course. He was crying, and yeah. Why put Mark through that again?
Yeah,
excused
he must
him.
have felt like a shark out of the water.
Oh, maybe.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what it means, right? That he just
He was
didn't.
a fish out of water, a shark out of water.
He just didn't feel
uncomfortable.
right, uncomfortable, sad.
And then Kevin brings up that Lindsay was by his side for a lot of those tough times.
And that's why I don't hate her as much as I hate Alyssa.
Well,
because
yeah, come
she
on.
has her tiny moments.
Tiny.
Again, I don't
Tiny.
like Lindsay, guys. I don't take her side or I don't agree with anything she does or says. But because of those tiny moments, I dislike her slightly less than I dislike Alyssa.
Okay, but here we go again, and I'm going to look towards the other cast members because they know these people personally. We don't think they should be together, and none of the guys think Mark and Lindsay should be together either.
And they're not together.
I know, but you're saying, Lindsay was there for him, and I know you're not saying they should be together.
No, but I'm
saying
saying
those little things don't
Those little
make up
things just
for it.
makes her a slightly better person, if I may use that word, than Alyssa. I think Alyssa is worse than Lindsay. She's worse than Chris from Atlanta. She's just the worst.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then speaking of Alyssa, Kevin moves on to Chris and Alyssa. And Michael's like, I knew you guys had issues. I just didn't know it was that
I think that
bad.
all the guys dislike Alyssa for
Yeah.
how she treated Chris. And
Yeah,
that's
as they
why
should.
I think the girls are just being nice. And that's why I'm saying Alyssa's just there. She's the one who's probably, hey girls, how's everyone doing? Everyone's doing good. And they're probably just like, yeah, thanks. Just running some errands. Gotta go. Bye. Hope you're doing well. Just being polite.
Yeah, because I don't see redeeming qualities in Alyssa. I don't
No.
see anything where it's like, oh, well, she's full of herself, but she's really fun to hang out with because you saw the bachelorette party. She was sitting by herself in a
Yeah.
corner. So, yeah, I don't see the redeeming qualities. And I don't think any of the girls really stepped up and defended Alyssa in this
No.
reunion. They were all just kind of like, yeah, we all have a group chat, but no one really stood up.
I'm sure
for
they have
Alyssa.
another group chat without
yeah.
her.
That's the real group chat.
Yeah.
So Kevin's like, she kept saying she was a good person. And then we see the good person montage.
I'm a good person. I'm such a good person. I can't believe the express did this to me. I'm such a good person.
I know people are laughing about it, but I'm a good person.
If you have to say that you're a good person, trust me that you're not.
Exactly. And Kevin goes, Chris, you think she was a good person?
What a question. I love Chris too. I loved his reaction. He's just so I loved that he doesn't let anyone to get to him through this crazy Alyssa shit. That he's just very cool about it, very calm, and he takes it as a learning moment. I love that.
Yeah, he definitely, he's got some confidence. You clearly
Yeah,
have
'cause
to be
he's
confident
smart, yeah.
to deal with that and to get through it and show up.
Yeah,
Because he could have said, I'm done. I'm not coming to the reunion. I'm not coming to the last episode where we're all going to cheers. I was going to say he got embarrassed on national TV. He didn't.
He didn't. No,
Alyssa,
she did. Oh, yeah.
Alyssa
Yeah,
embarrassed herself.
absolutely.
So he looks good.
Yeah. And I just love it because I think there are a lot of people, maybe including myself, who would lose it a little bit, just say how they actually feel about Alyssa, because I'm sure he's not saying how he feels.
I don't know. He might like her. I think he does like her.
What?
Come on. There were so many episodes.
No.
There were so many episodes where we're like, why are you still trying, Chris?
Because he was in it for a reason. That's why. But he said it himself. He said after he saw the footage, when she was talking to the producers, forgetting that her mic is
Right.
still on, thinking that no one's going to see or hear this, he said, I would have ended it sooner.
Yeah, you're
So,
right. Now he
yeah.
sees it all, and you're
Yeah.
right. Then Kevin turns to Steve very quickly and just wonders how he felt when Noy said she wasn't going to move in with him, or when she wasn't planning on moving with him. And Steve was kind of blindsided by it. He said he didn't see it coming, and he had to try to understand it. And really what it came down to was him just needing a level of certainty that Noy was committed. And that
Yes.
makes complete sense.
Absolutely. And that was it, because I think they worked on their issues, or they are working on their issues.
Yeah. Then Elijah. Kevin turns to Elijah and how he made a stir talking about what a wife should do, what a wife should be. And Steve's like, I think Elijah has learned a lot through this process. Here's my thing. we learn here that Katina now cooks gourmet meals. Okay? She's cooking like a lobster. Mm-hmm. Now, so how is that compromising? Elijah's getting more than he asked for. He's not just getting a woman who cooks for him, a wife who cooks for him. Now he's getting gourmet meals. He's getting more.
You dropped the lobster tail in the water, so.
But I'm saying his words
or you
were
steam it. I'm not sure.
his words were like, yeah, now she's cooking gourmet meals for me or whatever. So tell me how he changed? Now he's just happier because he's getting what he wants?
Apparently, yes. He's getting what he asked for while he's being portrayed as the brand new Elijah one, the one who doesn't push Katina around and doesn't test her because he learned from his mistakes while watching himself on TV.
Exactly. I don't think he's changed at all. He's gotten what he wants, so he's changed his tune. Now he's happy, but I don't think he's changed in terms of compromise or what he's willing to adjust or bring to the relationship. He's getting what he wants, so he doesn't have anything to complain about.
True, but okay, here is a hot take. Are you ready?
Oh, so ready.
Maybe he did get better because it seems like he is actually friends with all the guys. They all are friends. If you look at the girls, Alyssa's there. She's not a big part of it, right? But it seems like the guys are all in it together.
Yeah, but they always were.
Well, yeah, but if he was at the beginning, at the bachelor party, people looked at him like, oh my gosh, this guy's too much. Like, he's too much.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with him and Katina's relationship. That was just his personality.
I think he grew on them and maybe he learned a little bit.
I think you're giving him the benefit of the doubt. That's fine. We don't have to agree on everything.
I'm just hoping for
I think he's got a lot of people.
Because I love Katina. And I just hope that whatever situation she's in, hopefully it's better than what we witnessed. That she's just happy.
She looked, I think people are so quick to forget how beaten down she looked, how over it she looked. She didn't even have a voice in the relationship. And now they're out there. He gives her a ring and everyone's like, is he the greatest guy in the world? Where do I find me an Elijah? And I'll even take an Isaac. Give me an Isaac. Just come on. People are so quick to forget. I'm not going to forget.
I will not forget either, but let's see.
I hope you're right.
Let's keep an eye on him.
I hope you're right.
Let's keep an eye.
We'll keep an eye. All right. And then just very quickly, Kevin asked the guys if Michael should have romanced Jasmina more. Yes. Okay. Yes. He should have.
He should have, but I would be curious to see
cautiously romantic. I would say
if she should have received it or if she would have stabbed him.
No stabbing. He would have stabbed
Not
her.
stab
you know
him. Stab him.
Oh, stopped.
Like stop.
In the name of love. Yeah, I don't.
What do you mean
know.
Stabbing? Why would she stab him?
Well, I don't know.
That's
if
a
he
little
was
violent.
Well, you were the
with
one
a
who
knife.
You said it. You said it.
You're being a little violent
All
on
right,
this podcast.
we need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to bring the experts in. All of the initials, DP, PC, DV, they're all coming. Okay, we're going to bring in a couple unlucky couples, and maybe something else we'll talk about too. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows? Because we don't plan this.
Well,
we don't plan our podcasts.
We somewhat do. We watch a show and we talk about it. That's the plan.
We just roll with the punches.
That's the plan. All right. I'm planning on taking a break. Are we good to do that?
John is going to drink a beer.
All right. We'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa.
How's it going?
That's fine.
We're back. Let's talk about the experts.
Experts
joining Kevin.
In quotes.
Yes. Experts in quotes.
Experts
DP,
in quotes.
PC, DV.
Yes. So let's start with Dr. Pepper, who says her biggest surprise was Lindsay and Mac being as combustible as they were. She thought they were a match made in heaven. Turns out they're at the bottom of the sea like the Titanic. What a failure.
Because that's the thing. When you fill out all the paperwork, right, and apply for MAFS, you're not going to put down that you're match shit crazy.
No, and you shouldn't, but
the way you probably, she probably said, I'm a little more active. I have a wild personality. I have a strong personality. But you can say all those things, and she is those things. But until you see it in action.
Well, that's why there needs to be more than a Google Doc. that these people fill out. There needs to be actual sessions where they talk to professionals, whether it's these three or actual professionals, have a conversation over the course of days or weeks and learn a person, follow them around a little bit. What are you going to learn from a 50-question Google Doc?
I think they should lock all the people who apply for MAFS to like a big warehouse with alcohol and like observe for like 2 days.
Well, no, that's a spin-off show that I would absolutely watch. But I don't think that's the matchmaking process, Teresa. Clearly not an expert over here.
You would lock the guys and the girls separately, obviously, so they don't match themselves.
Still watching.
Up.
Still watching. But no, have a like, let's do this thing for real. Asking someone, fill out a questionnaire.
That's
no.
too much work.
No, Teresa. You're lucky
I'm
me.
talking from the TV's point of view because
It's too
they
much
need
work to
have
fill out 50 questions on a Google Doc?
No, that's what they do.
Right. And
It's
it
too much work
doesn't
to be
work.
observing them for months and make sure they work.
You're right. I'm taking
The
this
show
seriously.
is also not about like everyone doesn't need to work out. Like we need
You're
some
right.
crazy people.
You're right. I'm taking it too seriously. But DP was surprised about Mark and Lindsay. PC says, oh, the biggest surprise for me was Alyssa and Chris. And Dr. Pepper's like, oh, yeah. Forgot about that one.
Yes. I love how they shit on Alyssa. She deserves all that.
Yeah, she shit on everyone else, so it's sweet revenge. Then Kevin asks if the experts would have predicted all four couples would say yes. None of the experts thought all four couples would say yes.
Because it's very unusual.
I know, but have a little confidence in your matchmaking.
Well, they were observing what was going on.
Still have a little. You guys were surprisingly redeemed on decision day, and you guys had no confidence in yourselves that you would be.
And Dr. Viviana was also a big champion of MTS and Lindsay.
Yeah.
She also thought I thought they will somehow make it. That she will calm down, but it seems like when the show ended, she got wilder and crazier.
Yeah. So then they talk about Katina and Elijah specifically. And Kevin says,
So happy. He's so happy.
you all told Elijah he needs to treat his wife and talk to Katina in a respectful way. You guys all told him this. They roll the tape. And once again, Kevin is like, let me say. So beautiful. Elijah sat out in this very seat that you're sitting in, DP. Elijah was out here and said, I look crazy. I look crazy this season. And I learned from it. And I grew from it.
You know how throughout the season we called him a sociopath or a psychopath? Obviously, we're not the experts, but
to put it lightly.
yeah, that's another part of it. Just him trying to make himself better.
Manipulative.
Because, yes.
Con man.
Yes.
Of course.
Listen, I am all for what you've been saying, and I agree with everything you've been saying. All I am saying is that maybe, just maybe, he learned a little bit for Katina's sake.
I want to be wrong in this circumstance. I want you to be right. But I just have a hard time. Show me who you are. I'm going to believe you.
Yeah, it's definitely a part of that personality trait that he was showing us throughout the season.
And here's, I think, what bothers me so much about it and why I'm pushing back so hard. Because everyone's so effusive about how much Elijah's changed and how much of a good guy he is now. Like Kevin's like, you hit a home run here. I think if they just were like, wow, if they were cautiously optimistic, maybe I could be cautiously optimistic.
What do you mean cautiously optimistic?
I would be like, I don't know if this is going to work, but let's hope it does. But everyone's like, you hit a home run. Elijah made the biggest change in MAFS history. And I'm like, you guys are going so hard in this direction. I feel like I need to go so hard in the, I think you're getting played direction. I think we could all come to the middle and be like, I don't know. I hope it works. I don't really know if I believe someone could change that much, but fingers crossed. But no, they're all like, home run, nailed it, Mr. America. And I have to go, no.
It's because without Katina and Elijah, they would only have one other successful couple.
Exactly.
So
the name of the game is success here. Kevin is part of the MAFS brand, and so he needs to lean into that and go like, we did it.
We did it.
Success. Right. So then they talk about Steve and Noe, speaking of success, and Viviana says, Steve shocked me. He came out of the gate with so much insight, so much thoughtfulness. And for a second, I thought they were talking about Elijah on again. I'm like, you guys can't give this guy enough compliments. Like, Steve could be a therapist on the side.
I like Steve a lot. I think he has
Steve's
a
a
good
good guy.
personality. Yeah.
Steve's a good guy.
Yeah, everyone loves Steve, and then they talk about the bombshell of the season,
Yes.
aka DP, the expert, does not even live with her husband.
Right, because
What are we doing here?
Kevin's like, they're not living together. What do you think about that? And DP inhales to speak, and Kevin's like, I'm going to stop you right there. DP. This was the revelation of the season, so explain yourself. And she's like, well, we're a lot older than they are. We had kids with previous partners. We didn't need to form that kind of union. We live in homes we love. So why give one up?
I don't get it. Like, I feel like even if I'm older, I would still want to live with you. I can even think about us separating, so I can,
Well, yes.
I can fully put myself in her shoes. But no, I can't imagine. But when she said, yeah, we already lived those lives. Like, we have kids, and now we came into this union while living alone, doing their own thing. So I could possibly understand. But she also says that she didn't think that Noe and Steve should live separately because they're so young. They're thinking of having kids.
Of course.
They're getting to know each other.
Of course.
Under these circumstances, they should not.
Yeah. Here's my prediction. Next season, we learn DP is in an open marriage. That's my prediction for next season.
The season after, we learned that DP has been divorced for the past 15 years.
It's all been a lie.
Or like DP filed for a divorce 15 years ago, but they never signed it. So like she's still married, but not.
DP will not stop surprising me. And I used to love her, and I still kind of do, but
I love DP. She's cute.
that's the only reason I like her is because she's
She's
this
so
cute
tiny.
little tiny lady.
Tiny.
But she's
she
not.
drinks one beer, then she's like, I'm done.
She's not bringing
I'm
anything to the table.
She used to.
I feel like they all used to.
Yeah. I don't
glad-
know. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, they all used to be way more involved in everyone's life. Remember, they used to Skype them to the honeymoon.
Yes.
Now they're just like, you guys go and
Figure it out.
we'll watch and eat
Yeah,
some
of course.
popcorn.
DP is like, I don't even talk to my husband. Why would I talk to you?
Oh, DP, little savage.
So Viviana says she's not a fan of Steve and I not living together. So
I'm not
we're in
either
agreement
because
there.
they decided to stay married, but they do have a relationship.
Yeah. And I thought it was a little unfair, actually, that Kevin said they're not living together. They chose not to live together. They're living together 6 nights a week.
They are basically living
That's
together.
living more so than DP and her
Yes,
husband.
but Noe escapes to her place once in a while.
Yeah, which, again, I don't know if that's great to have that place to run away to.
I think once they have kids, she's gonna drop her apartment
knows?
for many reasons. Let's start with money.
Sure.
right?
Let's end with money.
And it's Boston. It's not the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, that you pay $500
Again,
for one bedroom.
unless Steve is this secret Bitcoin millionaire.
Well, he said he invested in Bitcoin.
I know. No,
so
he said crypto. Who knows? Could have been Dogecoin.
I wish
knows?
we did that.
I know.
We're
People who, I forget what it was. It was like, if you put $10,000 in Bitcoin 15 years ago, you'd be a multimillionaire now. It's crazy.
But that's the thing. You need to have money at that
It takes money to
point.
make money.
Yes, but you have to have enough money to take that risk.
Take that
right?
risk, yeah.
Who has 15 grand to just risk it?
Nah, it takes money to make money. All right. Kevin then brings out Jasmina and Michael to sit and talk with the experts. And Viviana says, once the cameras left, I thought you guys would make it happen. Jasmina says, we were in a good place when we said yes on decision day, but we had a huge blowout and Michael asked for a divorce. And so Viviana's like, well, what was the fight about? And here we go, Teresa. The fight was that Jasmina asked to use Michael's laptop for work.
I don't buy this.
I do. And Michael spaced a little and he forgot to get her the laptop. And it turned into this huge fight. Okay. Now, I don't believe that they got divorced over a laptop, but I believe that this caused a huge fight. Do you know what would have prevented this fight?
What?
If they lived together, the laptop would have been there. The laptop would have been there, Teresa.
Okay. We've been podcasting for a little over an hour, I'm going to assume.
Yeah, about
right?
an hour, yeah.
You've been holding this in this whole time so you can make your point.
They'd still be together if they lived together because the laptop would have been there. Nothing to fight about.
No, I don't agree.
Nothing to fight
Also, why doesn't she have a laptop? I feel like everyone does.
I don't know.
Like any laptop. You don't have to have a fancy laptop, but some sort of a laptop.
Maybe it broke. Maybe she left it somewhere.
So why don't just go to the internet cafe?
We don't have the answer to this, but I have the answer to the relationship, okay? If they had a laptop there, sure, of course. They would have found something else to fight about.
Yes.
But they wouldn't have divorced over this laptop.
Yes, they would have gotten divorced over something else.
Perhaps. But Jasmina says, Michael also told me I didn't put effort in. But I feel like I was the one who put all the effort in. She said she would text and call. And the only thing Michael did was he once went to her house and didn't have a laptop with him. That's it, right?
That's all it takes.
That's it. So Michael's like, well, the laptop thing, I thought it was a ridiculous thing to end it over, but I felt like I wasn't getting any effort from Jasmina.
Well, it's her word against his.
Yeah. In a way. One is right, one is wrong. Potentially, we don't know. PC says what we're seeing is two people who had some life left in their marriage, but you both had needs. They weren't being realized. You felt you were doing things that weren't meeting each other's needs. But if you just had a conversation, you could figure out what was missing. So that's where I go. I don't think they'll make it work now, but I think they had the emotion and the love, or the like at least, to make it work. They just needed to talk about it and figure out, how do we make it work?
Well, PC thinks they could be a power couple.
Oh, yeah.
Viviana thinks that they should never say never.
PC stands for power couple.
Okay.
Pastor Cal, power couple. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I don't see them back together. I see them being friends eventually.
I don't.
Why not? Like,
Why?
they have
Michael
this
doesn't need
weird
another
bond.
friend who's a girl.
Or does he?
He does not.
Or does he? I mean, maybe they can be roomies.
No. Jasmina needs a laptop. Michael needs a guy friend. That's about it.
All right. Well, let's move on to one of my favorite segments.
Oh, boy.
The experts and Alyssa and Chris.
Yes. So DP starts with, I need a few answers.
Oh, we all do.
I think Chris is a really good guy. I honestly didn't understand why you thought he was such a failure in so many ways. We went after a list of things you gave us and a list of things he gave us, and you matched up very well. And Alyssa's like, yeah, well, I respectfully disagree with what you say. I don't feel that list of things or the questionnaires I did align with Chris. I don't feel we have anything in common. I don't feel our core values align. And I don't feel like he's what I asked for.
Well, and she's judging this based off of that one conversation she had with his groomsmen.
And that one social media post.
That's right.
So,
Well-
but yes, she didn't give him a chance either way.
Not at all.
No, very quick to judge. And so she goes through that whole little thing. Oh, yeah, you don't align with my values. You're not what I asked for. And PC is like, all right, heard enough about this. Tell me then, what are your core values?
And she does not want to get into
She
that.
refuses to say them, which, okay, that's your choice. My question is, if you refuse to say them now, or you're not comfortable saying them now, or you don't even know what they are, so you're not saying them now, did you say them at the beginning of the process? Did you say them when PC and DP asked you from day one, so tell us about your core values? Or did you bite your tongue then too? Because of course you're not going to get matched based on your core values if you're not willing to say your core values.
Maybe she didn't say them.
That's what I think, because then she doesn't say her core values, but Dr. Viviana has a little surprise
Well,
in store.
she has a list of her requests. What? I don't have the list. Do you have the list?
Oh, I have the list.
Of course you have the list.
There is.
You want to read the list?
Dr. Viviana goes, all right, you don't want to say your core values? Here's exactly what you wrote down in your questionnaire. Top 5 things you're looking for in a spouse. Compassion. Mm-hmm. Funny. Mm-hmm. Giving. Mm-hmm. Hardworking. Loyal.
These are also very basic
Very basic.
requests. I feel like we all would say that.
Very
I would
basic.
say I want someone funny and loyal
Right.
and hardworking.
Right. Hopefully you could throw a stone and you'd hit someone that checks off at least 4 of those things. But Chris, from what I know of Chris, hits.
Checks all the boxes.
I don't know if he's a comedian, but yes, he's
I
compassionate.
think he has a better sense of humor than Alyssa.
Absolutely. He's hardworking, seems very loyal. Mm-hmm. And Alyssa knows she's kind of cornered and she starts crying.
Yes, and she says, "Well, I disagree. I disagree on loyalty."
Well,
Well,
yeah.
how do you even know, Alyssa? You don't know if he's loyal because you didn't give him a chance to be loyal. So how do you say that out of all these things Dr. Viviana just listed, you pick loyalty as the deal breaker?
He was way more loyal to her than she was to him. He was at least loyal to the process and gave it an honest chance.
Yeah, what's the opposite of loyal? Like disloyal?
Disloyal. Very disloyal.
She was very disloyal.
Yeah. I mean, she goes, I sat here today because I was told I wouldn't be attacked. Well, that's ridiculous, Alyssa. That's what.
But you
this is
acted like
for.
an asshole, Alyssa, so you're getting that treatment.
Yeah, you're getting exactly what you gave to others. And Viviana goes, you said multiple times you feel we didn't do a good job. Well, that's not true. And PC asks again, what are the core values? And Alyssa's like, I don't want to get into that. And PC goes, I'm asking because that's how I match people. And Chris, you said you believed you were matched well. And Chris basically says, well, I don't believe there's just one person for me. There are people who check boxes, and if they check enough boxes, we can work on the other boxes.
That's true.
Yeah, no one's going to be perfect, right? There's no such thing as a soulmate.
Well, myself to you.
Mm-hmm, close enough.
Don't I check all your boxes?
All the boxes.
All the boxes.
All the boxes. Boxes I didn't even know I had.
Exactly.
Yeah. Circles, squares.
I fill all your boxes.
Yes,
With
absolutely.
love and passion.
Yes.
And companion and loyalty.
100%. 100%. And Alyssa goes, I just know I feel bad for both of us for being in this situation.
You put yourself into that situation, Alyssa. You applied for MAFS,
Yeah.
and you went into the process with a very, very closed mind. There are no cowboys in Boston. Or maybe there are a few,
There's a
but
couple.
there is a very small chance that a cowboy in Boston will apply for MAFS. Just go to the Texas version of cowboy on MAFS.
Yeah.
MAFS and cowboys, whatever.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. She is responsible for the situation they're in. She says it in such a passive way, like, I feel bad for us being in this situation. You're the cause of the situation. Take some ownership.
Yes.
DP goes, you have a narrow vision of your person. If I knew this, I wouldn't have matched you. And it's so true. She had this specific idea in her head of who she could be with or who she could fall in love with or marry. That doesn't work when you're getting matched blindly. You have to go out and find that person specifically.
Well, I think she has a hard time because she's an asshole.
Oh, I'm sure she does. But if you're going to enter this process and give it an honest try, you got to be open-minded. That's literally probably the number one.
Absolutely.
The number one prerequisite of MAFS should be like, you're open-minded, right?
And to the point that you may not be attracted to the person physically. However, he may or she may be everything you ask for. Give it a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it, really.
Yeah, but sweet Chris has no regrets. He
No.
said he learned and he got to know himself and he's ready to date. And
His inbox is
Dr.
full
Viviana
of
hates
DMs.
Alyssa, and I love it.
Yeah. All right. Lindsay and Mark.
And the experts.
Lindsay and Mark and the experts. So
Lindsay and Mark in the Shark Tank.
Dr. Viviana asks, when after decision day did things really start to turn?
7 days.
7 days. I kept count. I have calendar. It's like 1 day since an accident, 2 days since an accident, 7 days. It was her birthday. And Lindsay just wanted dinner and a massage for her birthday.
Wait. Okay, it was her birthday, and then she said her grandma died that day.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
Yeah. I heard the grandma died. I didn't write it down because no one addressed it. And I was like, that's such a interesting fact, if that's the case, that these two major life events happened and no one's addressing the grandma thing. So I was like, well, maybe I misheard that.
No, she said it.
So her birthday.
She said, Mark called quits on the day my grandma died.
Yeah. So all she wanted, on the day her grandma died was dinner and a massage, I guess.
And apparently she asked Mark for, and you have to explain to me, IOU. What is that?
Well, Mark gave her an IOU.
What is that? Is it a disease?
It's a sexually transmitted disease.
What is it?
No, an IOU. So you spell it letter I, letter O, letter U.
Yes.
But it's really like, I owe you dinner next week. I owe you. So people do it. It's cute. When you're in elementary school, you make a little coupon, you write it down. I owe you whatever, a dessert.
Oh.
And so
I thought it was like a disease or something. I don't know.
I'm sure one of them have something. But she asked for dinner and a massage, and he's like, I owe you, right? Here, cash it in at a later date. That's what it is. So Mark goes, yeah, after decision day, we spent a week getting the place ready, but the issue was too many threats were being made in the house. It ruined it for us. We got in a fight that night because I was going back to my job and Lindsay didn't like that job.
The gym job?
I think it was a gym job. And Lindsay's like, well, yeah, because Mark said we may have to move because of this job. And we had just put in all this work at the house. And Mark said, if you don't want to move with me, you can move out now. And Mark's like, well, I didn't kick you out of the house. You lived there for 3 months rent free. I would let you stay there for 5 months rent free.
So where did Mark live?
I don't know if he actually moved closer to his job or not. I don't think that was clarified. He was just like, well, now I have this job. I may need to move, which that's a huge discussion. Sure. I'm sure Lindsay works and lives in a certain vicinity, right? And
well, it was also his grandma's house. So I don't know how close or far Lindsay's work is from this house, right? I don't think it's around the corner.
Who knows? Maybe it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Maybe she ended up being closer to her work by moving to the grandma's house. The point is, to just be like, we're going to move. Not cool, Mark. You hope it's a discussion. Mm-hmm. But it seems like, again, there's two sides to the story. Mm-hmm. Lindsay saying one thing, Mark saying another.
And that's what basically PC says. You both ruined the marriage. You are a great example of two people who just destroyed the marriage. And I think Lindsay destroyed it more.
Yeah.
I don't really see Mark destroying the marriage. I just think he got pulled into his craziness and was reacting to what was happening.
Yeah, it depends what happened off camera. Again, on camera, it definitely looks like Lindsay was the main culprit here. Who knows? Mark says she has a side to her that's too violent, too threatening, and she bullies me the most I've ever been bullied.
Yes, but DP chimes in saying she also has good qualities. But when she's angry, she hits back so hard because she's smart.
Okay.
This is just me quoting DP.
Here's the quote. DP said, the problem, which we've talked about, is when you're hurt, Lindsay, your response is anger and lashing out. And you're very bright. So when you lash out, you hit bone. And Lindsay agrees. Mm-hmm. She's like, yeah, that's right. I agree with you. Only because DP called her bright. Only because DP wedged that compliment in there. If it was just when you're hurt, your response is anger and lashing out. So when you lash out, you hit a bone. Lindsay would be like, absolutely not.
Yeah, she would lash out.
But because she was like, and you're very bright, you hit, and then listen, you know what I am. You're right.
Look at you being a little therapist over
You're-
here.
Come on. That's the only reason DP put that little compliment in there too, was to get that head nod. Yup. And so Mark starts to get emotional, and PC's like, well, what's going on? What's happening? And Mark says, I hate reliving this. Having these conversations is too much. And PC is like, you see this, Lindsay? You see this man over here getting emotional, crying? How do you feel?
Well, Lindsay doesn't think that his shark tears are genuine.
Yeah, crocodile tears, shark tears.
Shark tears.
It's all the same. Yeah. She's like, if I'm going to be very honest, and Viviana cuts her off and goes, whoa, if this isn't going to have tact, the way you respond, we don't need to hear it. And that's when Lindsay's like, yeah, I don't think it's genuine. When I see the tears, I don't feel compassion. I don't think it's real.
I think it's real.
I think it's 100% real. I think he's a very emotional. Are they necessary tears, or necessary
Yes,
is not
that's how he feels. Every tears
Maybe
are
I'm saying-
okay if you're expressing your emotions.
I'm not saying they're wrong, but I'm saying, are they an overreaction?
No.
He's been through a lot. He's had a crazy few months, right? So he's probably very vulnerable.
And he was married to Lindsay. So.
And he was married to Lindsay. So I believe the tears, and I think they are just. But sometimes people cry and you go, well, that's an overreaction. So that's what I'm saying, is maybe Lindsay thinks it's an overreaction, but they're still authentic. He's not faking them.
I think he is just expressing how he feels.
Yeah, well, Lindsay disagrees, and PC says the marriage may be over, but one thing you can't lose is empathy. And Lindsay goes, for people I don't respect? She has no class, no tact. It's crazy. You can't just sit there and be like, yeah, you're right. Like, you shouldn't lose empathy. For people I don't respect? And PC's like, don't make them feel bad for having an emotional side. Mm-hmm. And here's something. Viviana was on one this episode. She gave it to Alyssa. She gave it to Lindsay. And she gave it back to Lindsay right here in such a beautiful way, because she goes, you guys are very similar. And how you feel about each other says more about how you feel about yourselves than each. And the last thing Lindsay wants
said.
The last thing Lindsay wants to hear is that she's similar to Mark the Shark.
Yes. All right. You ready to move on and talk about everyone and the experts?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So they all meet with Kevin.
Yes.
And we see a throwback to Olajuwon getting mad at Lindsay over speaking Spanish. Remember when they got
Oh, yeah.
to DR, right? No,
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And Lindsay was just flexing that she speaks Spanish, and when you are in someone else's country, you have to speak the language.
Yes. Yes.
If you can, sure, but it's not required, Lindsay.
Yeah, you better download Duolingo on the flight and learn this language before we land.
And we saw this throwback to Olajuwon on the honeymoon forgetting Katina's name.
This was
What?
great. This was fantastic.
Did you buy it?
Yes. He's an idiot. Of course. And
How do you forget the name of the person you married?
because think about it. You probably hear it at the altar. And you're probably, you're not even thinking in the moment. There's so much happening. There's the camera, friends, family. You're getting married. This at first sight. This is crazy. And it's like Elijah. This is Katina. And that's it. That's the only time you hear it.
No, then you meet with the family. They ask about Katina. Come on.
Maybe.
And you introduce Katina to all the boys and everyone. Hey, this is my wife, Katina. Come on.
I don't know if you remember this. I think she really struggled pronouncing his name.
Yes.
They didn't show that.
But at least she struggled pronouncing.
Yeah.
He straight up forgot. He
He's
kept
like,
calling her wifey.
Jeanette, Canette, Dinette. Yeah, he didn't know, which I found hysterical.
It
but
was good. It was
Katina's
good.
like, yeah, I didn't know, but it makes sense why he kept calling me wife.
It was funny before we get into the heavy stuff.
Oh boy, the bowling.
The bowling alley fight. The one that I think it was the first time we really saw Lindsay losing her shit. Like crazy. I mean,
yeah.
she did lose it on the honeymoon, but Mark the Shark still had her back
Yeah.
there. Then she got kind of mad when he said he wants to take it slowly, but this was the first time
Yes.
she's gone wild.
When she just became insulting.
Yes.
And out of control.
Cursing him in the bathroom.
Yeah, they flash back. They show us her in the
Flash.
bathroom just...
Flash, like the bathroom.
I don't get it.
You said flashback. I was saying like flash.
No, flush.
Oh.
It's two different words, Teresa. Maybe you need to take it easy on the beer. Okay,
Moving on from the flashback.
Kevin asks if Lindsay thinks she went too far in what she said. And she's like, I feel bad about the delivery. I should have used kinder words. I should have said like small testicles instead of small balls. Maybe it was the words that I used to could have delivered a kinder message. And Lindsay goes, but he wasn't there. I was just trying to bitch in a corner. He wasn't around to hear it. And she says, but I'm working on the way I express myself.
Are you?
Yeah. Mark's like, I think it's kind of sad that that's how you spoke and you don't feel bad about it.
Was it Kevin who called her vicious?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't the only
Lindsay,
one.
you're so vicious.
I'm sure he wasn't
your
the only one.
delivery is so vicious.
Yeah. And I think that might have been when he goes, you probably should apologize to Mark. He's right here. And there's this awkward silence.
Oh my gosh.
And we're all like, is she going to do it? What's she going to say? Did she write another letter? What are we going to get?
I was surprised because she did apologize.
Sort of. She's like, Mark, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I just got so angry so quickly. I can't take it back. If I could, I would, but I can't. I hope you can accept that. It's a half apology. Apologizing for hurting someone's feelings. It's like, I'm sorry you're so weak, you pussy. I'm sorry that hurt your right. I'm sorry that hurt your feeling. It's not like I should have never said that. What I said was wrong.
True.
She's like, yeah, I'm sorry you're such a bitch, and that upset you.
True.
That's what she said. And then Kevin's like, all right, Lindsay, Mark said you spit on him.
This is so bad. Like, how old are they?
How disrespectful is that?
I remember once there was an incident in my kindergarten that a child spit on another child. It was a big problem. We all had to sit in the circle. They were lecturing us, even the kids who did not spit, right? We were in a kindergarten. I didn't understand it. I remember it because I actually went on and was in a class with this kid until our ninth grade. So we always brought it back. We're like, oh my gosh, remember you spit? But who's an adult and spits on their significant other during a fight?
I could see Lindsay doing it.
Well, she did.
We don't have evidence, but I could totally buy it. She's so vulgar. She's so aggressive. I could totally see it. She says, I said I want to spit on you.
Well, and she's lying because you can tell when she's lying. She has these moments where when she's lying, she kind of loses her words. She doesn't know what to say for a couple of seconds and then she denies.
Right.
She's done it
figuring
before
it out.
several times. And this is the same thing. She's like, I did not. And she says it calmly.
Yeah.
If it's something that she would believe that she didn't do or if she didn't do it, she would be like, I didn't do it. No way. That didn't happen.
Right.
So she's lying.
I think she's lying.
She did spit on him. And as she was probably thinking what to do next, Elijah steps in as the best friend that he is.
Just the king of growth over here, this man. He's like, Lindsay, it's okay. It's okay. If it happened, it's okay. Now's the time to apologize. He was good to you. He was good to you. It's okay. It's not your fault. Apologize. And Lindsay's like, I'm sorry, Mark.
But somehow,
sorry.
And that's what I'm saying, that when I said she needs someone with a strong personality, maybe that's why she does get along with Elijah to a certain level.
Right. She respects.
Because all of a sudden she's freaking apologizing, which means A, she did spit.
Yeah.
And B, she took to heart what he had to say.
Yeah, that's a good point. Then Kevin switches to a lighter note, the intimacy exercises. And basically we learned Steve and Noi had sex in a semi-public place.
Yeah.
Whatever that could be.
I think it's probably...
Or the studio apartment with the door open.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Kevin read tweets. It was kind of lame.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
didn't- I
Sorry if you guys tweeted.
Stop taking notes.
But the one thing I jotted down, because I was curious, Elijah had a stain on his underwear.
Oh my gosh.
We all saw it.
That was a
on
lie too.
The wedding night. Yeah.
He's like, so I was carrying a pen in my pocket and can you believe the pen just leaked?
Yeah. Well, he said
No.
it broke in his pocket, and so it was ink on his pants. And yeah, I don't know about that. Wouldn't you?
Okay, who carries a pen with an actual ink nowadays?
Yeah, that's a good point.
No one does. You carry those shitty pens that you steal at when
Yeah.
you go to the
You
bank.
could bend it in half, and it still wouldn't
Yeah.
leak. Yeah. I mean, maybe he had a nice pen. Maybe he was writing the wedding card or something. But I feel like if it broke in your pants, you would have to change your pants.
Yeah, no, I think he bought these undies like 10 years ago
Yeah.
and he just doesn't want to let
Yeah.
go. He doesn't even know what that stain was.
Does not
But
know.
he just was wearing them on
cover-up.
the wedding night.
Good cover up.
Well, he tried.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's reunion part 2. The next episode looks wild.
What?
So stay tuned for that. I can't wait. And that's it. The season is wrapping up. We're getting to the end.
Unless there is another episode after.
There
Who
might be.
knows? Who
We'll see.
knows?
Stay tuned. That's why you got to make sure you are following us on social media at Married to Reality Pod. We will keep you updated with everything that we will release. If there's a little bonus coming or whatnot, we'll let you know there. And also make sure you're following the podcast. So that way you really don't miss anything. As long as you're following the podcast, you're going to get every episode right to your device as soon as it drops. It's so easy to follow the podcast. Just look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as this season. Because the season was pretty hot.
Pretty hot. Had its
Pretty
ups,
hot.
had its downs. But overall, I would say solid. I would give it a
I
solid
would say
rating.
7.
7. I might even go 7.5.
Whoa.
Yeah, feeling generous.
Whoa.
Feeling generous. And speaking of generous, thank you guys again for the reviews. If you haven't left one, please do. It really makes our day. It helps the pod. It's really all we ask of you guys.
Very
I think,
true.
Right? So please, if you could leave us a rating or a review, it means a lot. So seriously, thank you guys. All right. That is it. I've said it all. I think I've
said it all.
You've definitely said it all. Yeah. Flush, flash.
Yeah, potato, potato.
Potato, potato. We've said it all. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.